everyone. Finally, I have my computer all set up for the new edition of the ThinkPad. I had to upgrade my Mac, so that's why I've been a little bit busy not being very talkative in the social media, but it's because I wanted to know how the new system of the Mac worked. So here I am with a brand new iMovie program, which is the program I use. And let's see how we deal with it, shall we? Today, I bring you my October wrap-up, which are the books I read in October. So, I have read like 5 books, but today I'm only counting the ones I read for fun, which are 4 of them. One of them I don't have it physically with me, but you will see like the cover at some point. But the other ones I have them here. So without further ado, we're going to start. The first one is this little fella. Well, little. Have you seen this? Come on, it's huge. So, this is the Spanish edition of Abrutit by Naomi Novik. So, as you can probably tell apart from the language, the dust jacket is completely different from the hardcover in the American or more common hardcover edition, which it was yellow, and this one instead is a little bit more darker, like more sinister, with this kind of image of the woods or representation of the woods intertwined and the tower over here. So this version has this beautiful dust jacket, and although I cannot show it to you now, sorry. The same pattern goes for the hardcover book that is just behind this, and I really like it. I thought I was a very huge fan of the English edition version, but I love this. I love how sinister it seems. So, in this case, is the Spanish publishing company Planeta, the one that is bringing us Abrutit in Spanish. And I have to say that I really like it. I know for a year or something it's been really huge thing in BookTube, in like English kind of channels, and I really wanted to read it, so here it is. In case you don't know it, Abrutit is about one girl, Agnieszka, that lives in this kind of medieval vale, like medieval, I don't know, village. And in this kind of village, there are different kind of tiny villages around, like a hill or a very vast green area, and they are surrounded by one kind of mystery dark forest, which is called actually the woods, the forest. And this forest, it's a little bit like tricky because it's evil. It's considered to be evil, as every time someone is very very close to the forest, they got caught by these trees and they never come back. So instead of being unprotected from the dark magic that comes from the forest, they basically have this protection of a magician that is called the dragon. And every 10 years, the dragon comes to the villages and selects one girl to live with him for 10 years. And when they come back, they are quite different. They're more like educated and high society kind of, you know, behavior. So the girls, when they come back, they normally don't stand in the village for long. So they go to the city or to the court. And in this setup, in this environment, we have Agnieszka, which is our main character, and she knows that her best friend Kasia is going to be selected for the dragon when the dragon comes along, because Agnieszka knows that Kasia is a very attractive woman, very educated, very, it's a little bit of a lady, to be fair. she's been raised, Cassie's been raised to be this kind of companion to the dragon. However, when the dragon appears in her village, the dragon selects Agnieszka instead. Therefore, Agnieszka, which is a little bit of a tomboy or independent, not really caring about how how to cook or how to wear very very fancy dresses. She basically doesn't know why she's there, and the dragon is a little bit of a rude person at the beginning. So they have both very very temperamental characters, so they clash a lot. And I really like this story. I was very very surprised with it. I thought that although it has some kind of YA cliches that I am not very fan of anymore, I think this book is perfect if you are reading fantasy, YA fantasy, and you fancy to jump into adult fantasy. You can actually use this as a bridge because it has like some kind of adult topic as well. And I really like how the story is told. Like, it's a very progressive story, although it's not slow at any point. It has a lot of action. It's not self-centered love, which is good. It has a lot of friendship at the core. Everything that happens is because of the friendship between Kasia and Agnieszka. I really like how scary the woods or the forest seem. It's perfect for Halloween, to be fair. And the most important thing for me here is actually the magic. The magic system is brilliant, and I really like it. So if you want to give it a look, just enjoy it. The next book I read actually was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I don't have my physical copy with me. Again, it's a Spanish edition, although I will actually give you or place over here the cover in English so you can follow. But I have a Spanish edition with the same illustrations done by Jim Kay, which I'm actually a huge fan of. And to be fair, I wanted to read it very, very badly because when last year I started watching BookTube and participating in it, A Monster Calls was everywhere, and even the year before when I started watching BookTube as a part of the audience, it was there. It was very, very famous. And I wanted to read it very, very badly. And I have to say that it's a 5 stars for me. I wasn't expecting to like it that much. Mostly because I wasn't sure if it was a children's book or an adult book. So, what is A Monster Calls about? A Monster Calls is about Connor, who is having a little bit of a hard time because his mother, she's very very ill. So one night she receives the visit of a monster that actually wants to tell him 3 stories, to tell him 3 short stories. In return, he wants to hear one from Connor. Connor doesn't know why the monster is there, but she agrees. So you can see how the monster leads Connor to or through all the situation that he is facing, and I really like it. I don't have my physical copy with me, but when I do, I also want to do, apart from the review of the book, which I will do shortly, I want to do a review of the film done by Juan Antonio Bayona, a Spanish director that actually took the opportunity to do a film out of this. And I want to say it, and I cry my heart out, actually. But I really like it as much as I like it, the book, both of them. And I want to compare both because there are changes in the film version, but they are not actually weird or non-relatable changes. So I think it will be fun to do a book review and a film review comparing both. I really like it. I wasn't expecting it to like it that much, and again, it's a 5 star for me. It was magical. It was actually magical. The next book I read, I have it with me, and it's actually a comic book. It's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, in this case by Alan Moore, and I think you can see it, Kevin O'Neill. I never read comics before. I have tons of comics that I want to get to, but I haven't read comics before, and I have to say that I like this one, but don't confuse yourself. This is not for YA. This is a very adult book. It has a lot of like sexual content and a very graphic violence. So I would say that around 16, 17, some kind of like that, it would be a better idea. Not for younger readers actually. This one, it's the comic in that actually was used to make a movie a few years back. I am not quite of a fan of the movie, but I have to say that it was a different. I actually really like this book. I give it 3 stars in Goodreads, and I find that even though 2 of the characters that I find in the film, I thought they were here and they are actually non-existent, at least in this volume. I find that I really like the mystery and the tension, and I love the drawing style, although it's very gory sometimes. I don't know if you can see it from the cover. It's very, very dark and kind of stylish, very, broad shoulders to for height. Like, height is very, very monstrous. And then everyone is kind of a dark silhouette kind of a style. And let's see if I can find some kind of like a style that you can actually see. The weird thing, or that I find very curious about this, is that, for example, you see Hyde and Mina and Quatermine. I don't know if you're able to see them. Right, yeah. I find that these kind of drawings are created to highlight the darkest aspect of the personality of each one. For example, this book Hyde is very monstrous. Kind of, it's not only tall and dark and kind of eerie, but actually he's a monster. I really like the coloring of the comic though. I found it that it matches very well with the kind of stylistic drawings. And this is the last book I want to show it to you. I'm not sure if with the kind of natural cloudy light that we have today, you can see, but it's Vicious by V.E. Schwab. And I love this book. Again, as you can probably tell from the gorgeous cover, it's a little bit more of an adult book. And it's about 2 friends, Victor and Eli, which met in college, and they actually are kind of, scientific students, and they have to do kind of a thesis, and both of them got like intertwined topics to talk about or to write the thesis, and they are quite fond of experimenting, so they decided to take one of the research out of the theoretical path and actually go for a more practical approach. And the experiment goes well and wrong at the same time, because after the experiment, one of them goes actually to jail, and the other one, I don't know who, I will not say who, sorry, goes free. So 10 years later, which is when the story starts, the one that is in jail goes out and is seeking for revenge, because the ones that were like very, very best friends, now they are foes, and it's amazing. I actually spent, I don't know, like 3 weeks or 2 weeks that I couldn't actually talk about anything else. I remember my mom very, very tired about me talking about it. I was very at the edge of my seat because even though this is not a horror kind of a story, it has quite the spooky scenes, and we are on Halloween like month, and I find that I was very scared at certain points. I will tell more of my thoughts about it, like in the review, because I definitely will do a review of this. But if you want kind of superhero comic kind of novel, because this is the rhythm that it has, this is the tension. It's more of a when you read Marvel kind of comics, that kind of action packed things like that. I really like it, and it has kind of sinister terror kind of flair at some points. I really like it. I totally recommend it. 5 stars out of 5 for me. So this is it. This is it for today. I hope you really like my wrap up. It's been a while since I haven't read so many books. I'm a little bit of a reading slab now at the beginning of November, but I want to kick it out a little bit and finish a few books I have in mind. However, if you want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Goodreads and check what I'm reading or recommend me new books, you can do so clicking on the links that I leave you in the description box. And of course, you can give a thumbs up, and you can subscribe, and you can, I don't know, comment me down below and give me your opinions on the books I have shown. Goodbye!